I thought she was saving my life until I realized she was the one destroying it. Looking back now, I can pinpoint the exact moment everything started to unravel. But at the time, I was just grateful. God, I was so grateful. My name is Maya. I'm 28, and 6 months ago, I was drowning. Not metaphorically, actually drowning in work, in life, in everything. I'd just gotten promoted to senior marketing director at a tech startup. My mom had been diagnosed with early-stage breast cancer 3 states away, and I was planning my best friend's wedding while trying to maintain some semblance of a relationship with my boyfriend, Derek. I was running on 4 hours of sleep, surviving on cold brew and sheer willpower, and I knew something had to give. That's when my friend Jess recommended Lily. She's incredible, Maya. Seriously, she helped my sister organize her entire life when she was going through her divorce. She's like a miracle worker. Jess showed me Lily's LinkedIn. Professional, polished, glowing recommendations. She does personal assistant work, very reasonable rates. You need her. I met Lily at a coffee shop on a Tuesday afternoon. She was 24, with this warm smile and genuinely kind eyes, wearing a cream cardigan and carrying a leather planner that looked more organized than my entire existence. She asked me about my life with such genuine interest, taking notes in perfect handwriting, nodding sympathetically when I mentioned my mom's diagnosis. I lost my grandmother to cancer 2 years ago, she said softly, reaching across the table to squeeze my hand. I know how hard this is. Let me help you, Maya. You shouldn't have to do this alone. I hired her on the spot. The first 2 weeks were honestly magical. Lily was everything Jess had promised and more. She organized my calendar with color-coded precision, scheduled my mom's medication reminders, coordinated with the wedding planner, even meal prepped healthy lunches for me every Monday. My apartment went from chaotic to pristine. She responded to emails faster than I could, always professional, always helpful. Derek even commented on how much calmer I seemed. This Lily person is a godsend, he said, kissing my forehead. You're finally taking care of yourself. I remember feeling this overwhelming relief, like I could finally breathe. I gave Lily access to my email, my calendar, my phone contacts, everything. She needed it to help me, right? And she was so trustworthy, so competent. I'd found my person, my organizational soulmate. The first strange thing happened in week 3. I missed a crucial client meeting. Just completely forgot about it. When I frantically checked my calendar, the meeting wasn't there. My boss, Richard, was furious. I apologized profusely, rescheduled, felt this sick knot of anxiety in my stomach. That evening, I asked Lily about it. Oh my God, Maya, I'm so sorry. She looked genuinely devastated. I must have accidentally deleted it when I was reorganizing your calendar last week. This is completely my fault. I'll set up triple reminders for everything from now on. She seemed so upset that I ended up comforting her. It's okay, really. We all make mistakes. 2 days later, my mom called, crying. I'd missed our scheduled video call, the one we had every Wednesday evening. I could hear the hurt in her voice, the fear that maybe I was pulling away during her treatment. My heart shattered. Mom, I swear it was in my calendar. But when I checked, there was nothing. No reminder, no event. Lily apologized again, blamed a syncing issue with my phone, promised to fix it. She even sent my mom flowers with a handwritten apology note. My mom loved her after that. The incidents started piling up slowly, so gradually that I didn't see the pattern. A bill paid late, tanking my credit score. An email to a major client that I supposedly sent but had no memory of. Weirdly informal, borderline unprofessional. My best friend Emma, suddenly distant, claiming I'd snapped at her over text about wedding details. When I checked my messages, there was indeed a rude text from me, but I had zero recollection of sending it. Maybe you sent it when you were stressed and forgot, Lily suggested gently. You've been under so much pressure, Maya. I started to wonder if she was right. Was I losing it? I'd always prided myself on my memory, my organizational skills, but now I was forgetting meetings, sending messages I didn't remember, losing track of time. Derek mentioned I'd canceled our date night twice via text, texts I didn't remember sending. He was getting frustrated, pulling away. Are we okay? I asked him one night, my voice small. I don't know, Maya. You're different lately, flaky. It feels like you don't have time for us anymore. The irony was that Lily was supposed to be giving me more time. Instead, I felt like I was disappearing from my own life. Then, things got worse. I came home one day to find my grandmother's antique necklace, my most precious possession, missing from my jewelry box. I tore my apartment apart, looking for it, sobbing. Lily helped me search, looking genuinely concerned. 3 days later, she found it in my coat pocket. You must have put it there and forgotten, she said, handing it to me with a sympathetic smile. But I knew I hadn't put it there. I never wore that necklace casually. It stayed in its box, always. The doubt started creeping in, cold and insidious. Was I actually losing my mind? Early onset dementia? A brain tumor? I started Googling symptoms, spiraling into WebMD rabbit holes at 2 a.m. My work performance collapsed. I missed another major deadline because the file I'd been working on corrupted. My presentation for a huge investor pitch had slides in the wrong order, making me look completely unprepared. Richard called me into his office. Maya, what's going on? You were our star performer, and now? He trailed off, shaking his head. I'm putting you on a performance improvement plan. I'm sorry, but I don't have a choice. I sat in that office, numb, thinking about how, 6 months ago, I'd been on top of the world. And now, I was on the verge of losing everything. The worst part? I couldn't explain it. I couldn't point to anything concrete, except my own apparent incompetence. That night, I broke down to Lily. She held me while I sobbed, stroking my hair like a mother would. You're going through so much, she whispered, but I'm here. I'll always be here for you, Maya. We'll get through this together. Something about the way she said we made my skin prickle. The breaking point came on a random Thursday afternoon. I'd come home early, feeling sick, probably stress-induced nausea. I walked into my apartment quietly, and I heard Lily's voice coming from my bedroom. She was on the phone. Yeah, she's falling apart, Lily said. Her voice completely different, colder, sharper. The PIP should push her out in another month, maybe less. Richard already thinks she's unreliable. A pause. No, she doesn't suspect anything. She thinks she's losing her mind, which, honestly, makes this easier. My blood turned to ice. I pressed myself against the hallway wall, my heart hammering so hard, I thought it might burst through my chest. Derek's about done with her too, Lily continued, laughing, actually laughing. A few more forgotten dates, and he'll be gone. Then maybe he'll finally notice me. He's exactly the kind of guy I should be with. You know? Successful, hot, stable, not wasting his time with someone who can't even keep her life together. Another pause. The job is almost mine. Richard mentioned they're hiring for Maya's position once she's out. I've already been building rapport with him, showing him I'm the organized, reliable one. This is going to work perfectly. I couldn't breathe. The room was spinning. This couldn't be real. This couldn't be happening. I know it sounds harsh, but she deserves this, Lily said, her voice dropping to something almost venomous. Remember, 2 years ago, when I interviewed at her company, she was on the hiring panel. She's the one who rejected me, said I wasn't experienced enough. She smiled to my face and then threw away my dream. Well, now I'm taking hers. Her job, her boyfriend, her entire life. By the time I'm done, Maya Peterson will have nothing. The phone call ended. I heard her footsteps approaching. I darted to the bathroom, locked the door, and stared at my reflection in the mirror. My face was pale, my eyes wild. Everything clicked into place with horrifying clarity. Every missed meeting, every lost item, every strained relationship. The calendar deletions, the rude messages sent from my accounts, the forgotten date nights, the files that corrupted, the necklace that showed up in my pocket. It was all her. She'd had access to everything. My email, my calendar, my phone, my apartment keys, my passwords. She'd been systematically destroying my life from the inside out, and I'd given her the tools to do it. I'd trusted her completely, let her into every corner of my existence, and she'd weaponized that trust with surgical precision. I wanted to vomit. I wanted to scream, but instead, I splashed cold water on my face and made a decision. I was going to take my life back. I stayed in that bathroom until I heard Lily leave, calling out a cheerful, "Feel better," before the door clicked shut. Then I moved. I didn't have much time. She'd be back in an hour for our evening planning session. First, I changed every single password: email, calendar, banking, social media, everything. Then I went through my email trash and recovered hundreds of deleted messages, meeting invitations I'd never seen, emails from friends I'd apparently ignored, calendar events that had been systematically removed. I found the original email exchanges with clients, the professional ones I'd actually sent, and compared them to the ones in my sent folder now. Someone had edited them, made them casual and sloppy. My hands were shaking as I dug deeper. I found texts in my phone that I'd never sent, scheduled using an app I didn't even remember downloading. I checked my computer's activity log and saw logins from Lily's IP address during hours I was at work, accessing my files, my presentations, my everything. The evidence was overwhelming, damning, and I documented all of it. But I needed me. I needed to catch her in the act, undeniably. I set up my laptop to record my apartment's living room, hidden in my bookshelf. I told Lily I'd be working late the next day, gave her my apartment key as usual, and instead sat in a coffee shop monitoring the live feed on my phone. I watched her come in, watched her immediately go to my bedroom, rifle through my things. She took my phone charger, unplugged my alarm clock, moved items around to different places. Then she sat at my computer, logged into my accounts. Somehow, she still had access to something I'd missed, and started rearranging my calendar, deleting a crucial morning meeting with Richard, moving a deadline to the wrong date. The casual cruelty of it made me want to cry. She was humming while she destroyed my life. Then she did something that made my blood boil. She took a photo of herself in my favorite dress, one that had also mysteriously gone missing weeks ago, and sent it to Derek from a burner Instagram account with a message I couldn't quite see, but that made her laugh. I had everything I needed. That evening, I walked into my apartment with a calmness I didn't feel. Lily looked up from her laptop, smiling that warm, trustworthy smile. "Hey, how was work?" "It was interesting," I said, setting down my bag. "Actually, Lily, we need to talk." Her expression shifted slightly, just a flicker of something calculating behind her eyes. "Of course. What's up?" I opened my laptop, turned it around to show her the video feed. "I know what you've been doing. Everything. I have proof, videos, emails, text logs, everything." The mask dropped. Her face went cold, blank. For a moment, she said nothing. Then she laughed. That same cruel laugh from the phone call. "You can't prove anything, Maya. Who's going to believe you? You're the one who's been falling apart, making mistakes, acting crazy. I'm the helpful assistant who tried to keep you together." "Actually," I said, pulling out my phone, "I've already sent everything to Richard, to Derek, and to a lawyer. Oh, and I filed a police report for identity theft, harassment, and fraud." The detective was very interested in how you've been accessing my accounts and impersonating me. Her face went white. "You destroyed my interview rejection from 2 years ago." I continued, my voice steady despite my shaking hands. "You held a grudge and decided to ruin my entire life because you didn't get a job. You manipulated, lied, and gaslit me for months, but you made one critical mistake. You underestimated me." Lily stood up, grabbing her bag. "This is insane. You're insane. Leave your key on the counter. You're fired. And if you ever contact me again, my lawyer will add harassment to the list of charges." She stared at me, jaw clenched, then threw the key on the ground and stormed out. I stood there in my apartment, alone finally, and burst into tears, not from sadness, but from relief. Overwhelming, shaking relief. The aftermath took weeks to untangle. I showed Richard the evidence, every deleted meeting, every tampered file. He was horrified, apologetic, and immediately removed the performance improvement plan. Derek and I had a long, painful conversation where I showed him the fake messages, the manipulated timeline, everything. "We're rebuilding, slowly." Emma cried when she saw the actual texts Lily had sent from my account versus what I'd really said. Lily didn't face criminal charges. The detective said it was too difficult to prove in court. But word spread in our industry. Her reputation is destroyed. Last I heard, she'd left the state. As for me, I'm in therapy, working through the trauma of being gaslit so completely. Some days are harder than others. I still sometimes doubt my own memory, still feel that spike of anxiety when I can't find something. But I'm healing. I learned that the people who seem the most helpful can sometimes be the most dangerous. That access is power, and trust should be earned slowly, not given freely. That my instincts were right all along. I wasn't losing my mind. Someone was actively stealing it from me. I thought Lily was saving my life. Instead, she was methodically, carefully, cruelly destroying it, piece by piece. But here's the thing she didn't count on. I'm stronger than she ever gave me credit for. And I saved myself.